today to discuss the court system, and how we're being taken advantage of through these unlawful courts. Okay, my name is Main Day. I am a representative of the Moor Society and the Israelites, and I'm involved with an organization that helps people out in the courts. We are researchers at law. We're not attorneys, okay? But it is no excuse not to know the law. Is that what they say? Okay, so we'll begin from there. First, I'd like to say that the beginning of the indoctrination is at your birth, through your birth certificate, okay? When the corporations, which is the hospital, corporations as far as all capitals name, as far as like Walmart, Sears, Kmart, those are corporations, and this is what they make you at your birth. So with the all capitals name and them making you into a corporation, they can treat you as such. And buildings, corporations, have no rights. So when you walk into these courtrooms, you have no rights. And they can adjudicate you as such. These corporations, as far as the court system goes, are actually military tribunals meant to discuss tort claims and contract disputes. So your rights doesn't apply, okay? But this is what they make it seem. So you have to put your Constitution, Treaty of Peace and Friendship, and other treaties in effect, and let them know that they have a judicial conduct that they have to abide by, okay, which you can find in the canons. I would recommend that, each person, take a little time and study your Constitution, at least 10 amendments to protect yourself. I mean, because we're in a what they call end game, okay, and there's a lot of things going on, but in the meantime, what we need to do is protect ourselves from these unlawful police, the judicial system. A lot of these judges, they have inefficient oaths, so you can start by going to get a copy of their oaths. A lot of them don't have them notarized and certified, don't have witness signatures on them. They're invalid, okay? And the police, they don't have a delegation of authority, okay, issued to them by Congress to have any authority over you, okay? So that would be a good place to start also. When I walk into a courtroom, the first thing that I notice is that a supposed American flag, which has a gold fringe around it. And that means you're in a military tribunal. Okay, so when I walk into a courtroom, the first thing that I do before I walk on the boat, because the Admiralty courts means that's the law of the water and not of the land. Okay, so I ask or I request before I walk through that what seems to be a boat door, because it looks like a boat door. You're actually walking on a ship. Okay, so I request that all my constitutional rights be in effect, and would you adhere to them before I enter your court? Okay. Normally, they like to resist, because you have to understand these people are extortionists, they're criminals, they commit fraud, okay, and they don't like to answer that question. So immediately they recognize me. And I don't walk in on the boat until I get that response of yes. So once I get in there, you know, and I start the proceedings, the judge normally asks me my name, okay? I tell him that my name is William, okay? And that's capital lowercase, okay? And that's how you begin the proceedings. You let them know that you are not a corporation by stating that your name starts with a capital and ends with a lowercase, okay? Don't consent to anything, okay? You tell them that you're reserving all your constitutional rights, okay? I reserve all my rights not to be bound by any unrevealed contracts. Like I said earlier, this is a military tribunal meant to distort tort claims and contract disputes, okay? So when you tell them that you don't recognize any unrevealed contracts, that means that they have to divulge every piece of information that they plan on using against you in trial, okay? And normally, I mean, you know, these are criminals, you know, so they're going to try to mislead you by not revealing the evidence that they have against you. Actually, this is one of the motions that we help people file, okay, which is a motion for discovery, okay? You want videotape, you want KDT reports, you want, that's actually the radio reports when they, you know, they're on the radio like, we're going to pull this guy over. We really don't have anything against him, but we're going to make up something, so we'll just pull him over and start from there. You know, you want everything. You want them to divulge, because it's on the prosecution to prove every element of the charges that he's trying to apply against you. Okay? So I start out by saying that also. I asked the judge, you want the attorney to read the charges in, but the judge normally acts as prosecution, and I normally object to that. Okay? I'll ask him, Your Honor, are you acting as the assistant prosecutor in this case? Because you are nothing but more than the referee of this case. Okay? You make a judicial determination. That's it. Okay? So if he's acting as the prosecution, I'll let him know that, you know, I object to that, because that's not your job. The prosecution's job is to prove the charges that he's trying to apply against you. Okay? Another thing, you never by any means necessary understand the charges. Okay? They'll ask you, do you understand the charges? And they have something called what they call legalese. Okay? It's a language that they speak down at the courthouse. Okay? The words that we understand to be normal language, like a person, I would say is, my understanding of a person is a physical manifestation of a human being. Their interpretation of a person is a corporation. Okay, so that's why I say do a little studying to protect yourself. You can start with the Black's Law Dictionary. I will go get me a copy of that, 4th edition. So I never understand the charges, and what I mean by legalese, their understanding of, when they ask you, do you understand, that means, do you stand under their jurisdiction or their authority? Okay, so this is a way for them to trick you into receiving and justifying their jurisdiction. Okay, because the whole fight in these courts is jurisdiction, jurisdiction, jurisdiction. Okay, never let them establish that. You tell the judge, no, I'm sorry, I don't understand the charges. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't understand the charges that are being brought against me. Is it all right if I ask a couple questions? Okay. Normally, I send a motion, well, not a motion, but just a adherence, written adherence for the court to adhere to my special appearance, because I'm a Moor, you know, so only law applies to me. The codes and ordinances don't apply, okay? And I've separated myself from the corporation, which is the all capitals United States. See, there's two spellings of the United States, and this is very important. One spelling is all capitals, okay? That's the corporation. The second is the people. That's the United States spelled with a capital lowercase, okay? So you have to know that the difference between the two. So when I appear specially, that means I'm there to challenge the jurisdiction of the court. And have I violated any of the treaties or any constitutional amendments? That means there has to be an injured party, a corpus delicti, okay? If there's no injured party, there's no case, you know. So normally we would motion verbally for a motion to dismiss based off there being no injured party, all right? So appearing specially is important, challenging the jurisdiction of the court. Now they know exactly what's about to happen, you know, so this means that when you challenge their jurisdiction, they know that they can be held personally responsible for violating your rights, okay? And they know that your rights apply to you as a human being, okay? Now, let's get into a couple questions that I start asking, okay? Is this a court of record? Okay, you ask the judge. Did you take an oath to secure my inalienable rights? Let the record show that I, as an authorized representative, am requesting that the judge submit his oath into the record. Okay, they don't like to do that. A lot of times they give you a lot of yin-yang about not, or where you can receive their oath, okay? But they have to submit their oath into the record to know that, for you to know and establish that they have the lawful right to sit up on that bench, okay? Let alone make any judicial determinations, okay? Normally, like I say, they don't like to provide that, you know, so when you get into this and you start doing a little study to establish, you know, protecting yourself against this United States corporation, then, you know, you can go get their oaths, a copy of the oaths. If you're in Ohio, I would go to Columbus to the Secretary of State and receive a copy of their oaths and bond information. And this is the way that they can be held liable, because a lot of them like to disrespect you by getting smart and think that they don't have an obligation to respect you. You are the people. You have the power, okay? You have the power. The power is in your hands, okay? You hired them, okay? And when they take that oath, they state that they will protect your constitutional rights, okay? All right, let's move on. What is your status? Because someone from Albania, okay, can't use laws of, you know, the United States to adjudicate you, okay? They have to use the laws here to adjudicate an American citizen or make any judicial determinations against an American citizen, period. So you have to know their status. So if they're from Germany, they can't come, or Russia, they can't come here and adjudicate you by laws of the United States. I don't know what laws you're using, sir. You know, I don't understand, and that's another case in point where when they ask you, do you understand, you never understand, because for one, there has to be an injured party, but you don't just want to say that. You have to have this in the back of your mind and know that, you know, they're operating unlawfully, illegally, you know, as pirates, okay? When they don't have that proper status or the proper authority to be adjudicating you, then you know, you want a motion to dismiss. I mean, you know, but have that in the back of your mind. So you want to go ahead and start with the proceedings after you know if the question is answered, what their status is. What is your nationality? You know, because they have to have the proper nationality. I mean, you know, like I said, they can be a German or Russian or whatever, you know, and not have that proper nationality. So you want to ask that question. Do you recognize common law? When that question is asked, that means that, you know, there's a common law. The common law says that there has to be an injured party. Okay, if there's no injured party, then there's no case. They can't adjudicate you. Okay? Excuse me. A U.S. citizen. Are you a U.S. citizen? That's Title 8 U.S.C. 1481. And this just establishes that they have the proper status. Okay, that relates to status. Who gave you the authority to bring charges against me? Okay, so that's basically asking them, because they have to have a delegation of authority issued to them by Congress. Okay, see, the legislation, the state can't make or change any amendments of the Constitution. Okay, so you want to make sure that they have the proper citizenship to even be up there on that bench. Okay, and with the proper authority. Another question I ask is, who filed the complaint? Okay, someone has to activate the courts. Okay, someone has to write an affidavit. Okay, first call down and make a complaint. I guess that's the 911 call, and they have to have an affidavit stating how you violated their rights or damaged their property. Okay, so if there's no injured party, which is another term, corpus delicti, then there's no case. All right. Another way I term this is, I am being charged with a crime. As the authorized representative, I am requesting to see the verified complaint signed by the district attorney under penalty of perjury. Okay, so now you're stepping in, you know, a little deeper water. So you're asking the court to establish a verified complaint. So we want to see the complaint. We want to see who activated the courts. Okay, we want to know that you have a valid action that you're bringing against me. Okay? Get too extreme with this. This is going to be a short video. Basically, we want to just let the people know that there's someone to help you out. Okay? Another thing is, once the criminal jurisdiction is established, okay, then we start with motions. Okay, so there's two ways to fight this. First, we have to establish that they don't have jurisdiction, and the second thing is that when they do establish jurisdiction, if they do, then you want to start with the motions. Okay, so you want to make these these criminals do their job, period. Because, I mean, that's what they are. They straight up pirates. They are out there. They don't have a complaining party. The courts are activating themselves. Even the judge makes a plea for you, you know, which is not his job. Okay? When I ask them questions, I ask for specific answers. Okay? Be careful, because it's not your job to go in there and expose the courts. Okay? There's another venue for that. Okay? We don't try to do that. We go in there, and what we do is establish our innocence by them not having a corpus delicti. Okay? And them not having jurisdiction. Okay? So we want to be careful how we speak to these criminals. We have to know that, you know, these guys have been doing this for a long time. Okay? And they're actually they were wizards at this stuff. Okay? So, like I said, I don't want to get too far into it. There'll be other videos that I'll make, and my name is Main Day, and we want you to know that we're here to help you out. Okay? Nice speaking with you all, and protect yourself. Okay? Learn a couple of your amendments to protect yourself. Okay? Thank you. Shalom.